The Siege of Tya has finished and the players have helped vanquish Ezereth. The devs have announced a massive patch coming to global and they have hinted at all the things that are coming. So stick with us. We're going to nip through them all and we will go over what's going on. Hello and welcome once again. I'm Arcturus and this is Mystical. We're here on the Forerunner server and we bring you the latest in what's going on in Watcher of Realms. So today we are going to have a quick look at the dev insights that came out last week. We're going to have a chat about some of the fun stuff that's coming up and have a sort of a review of Siege of Tya and go over what happened and what we thought went well and what was a little bit suspect about it. So let's just start with the dev insights because that's going to lead us into some of our other topics. So here we are, dev insights. So first up, there was a couple of things that were announced. There were a couple of heroes who were mentioned in here about looking like they need to have an update. Khamet being one. Khamet was a really super powerful unit back in the day and he has kind of dropped off a little bit now. But I'd still say he's a really good unit he's dropped off a cliff. Yeah, I mean he's been power crapped by Valara because like why would you bring in a 19 cost unit when you can bring in a 12 cost unit who will do everything that he can do and better? Because she slows, she pushes, she kills, and there's the difficulty around the fact his exclusive gear was on Hell's Lament and there wasn't really many places to use Hell's Lament successfully. I mean, maybe the devs had in mind that Khamet would be great in Matrix, but no one ever really used him there because he couldn't cycle efficiently. So,
but then there's always the thing about why upgrade an old hero to be useful when I can sell you a new one.
Well, that's very, very true. Yeah.
That's ultimately the argument I feel you're up against.
Yeah,
it is a
exactly.
business after all, and they do have to make money. So
yeah,
where would they make it if all your old heroes are getting revamped all the time? And I suppose we have to. Yeah. We have to put up with the fact that they're not going to get a massive buff, are they? Who's had a massive buff that really worked for them?
I think Arrogance's buff was a nice one for him. Well, obviously Mina's had a decent number of reworks, but she was relatively fresh when that rework was done.
They're still trying to give her an initial outlay, aren't they? But not.
Yeah. But Brocky had several reworks, but that was mostly because he was brokenly overpowered.
The butterfly girl, Taluna?
Talluna's had a number of reworks. Actually, Beatrix
she's had loads.
Beatrix had a couple. And she's now super good, especially if you can get her to A3 and she's getting out more of her orbs.
And she works so well with Valise, doesn't she? And Valise is up there as top tier as well, so they probably work.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the bulk of buffs aren't that much to write home about, are they? They don't.
No,
I mean, at no point Constance hasn't become a Draylin, has she?
No. Constance is still suffering a lot. I think she's never really achieved the highs that she was kind of envisaged to be. And especially if you can get Draylin to A1, then you're getting the damage increase, so you don't have to worry about inspiration crossover. So you're getting you can get more utility about having a Draylin nearby your DPS units and have an inspiration unit as well. So
she originally had that niche, didn't she, where she was the only ground unit that could do healing, but that's less and less now, isn't it?
There was Meriel, but Meriel just was never really very good at it.
True.
Now there is some better gear sets for her, so that she can do okay, but she's just not amazing. because she's death based, and then you need to stack all the HP substats because otherwise she just dies and she's not a very good defender. But yeah, she's not terrible, but she's kind of like the poor man's Constance who doesn't do any inspiration, and
Constance is a poor man's Draylin, so I mean she gets further down.
She just gets pushed further down. Yeah, absolutely. So other things we picked
for a video one day in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worthless even.
Yeah. So another thing that was put in these dev insights was the fact that the North Throne gear, they're saying that they're going to look at how it works for offensive heroes, which I think is really nice because it is like a nice little quality of life thing to the community. It's because there's some instances where you don't want HP. I would argue that for Matrix, that having free HP substats available for your northerners is pretty useful, especially your Mina and your Akira, who are a little on the squishy side and can be harder to build. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but I can see that there's a lot of instances where it's not that useful to them. I mean, for defenders, it's insane. They've got the best defenders in the game, and you're giving them more HP.
Yeah, okay, so where does other things fit in this? So, for example, if we also have Northerner stuff that is attack-based, for example, that's another set that I've now got to hunt for. My RNG of getting the set I want is now increased even more. So at which point do we say we've got enough sets, and at which point do we say, well, we need a wish list or some mechanism where I can more easily target those sets that I'm after? Because we've now got what have we got? We've got Chaos, haven't we, come in? We've got the Arbiters.
Chaos and Arbiters.
There's another two sets that can also give me terrible stats as well and make me want to throw things out, you know.
And there's a new faction coming at some point this year. So, I mean...
Yeah, and they're going to need it all as well. That's another good point. So there's even more sets, and they come with, I mean, there's a knock-on effect to artifacts as well, isn't there? Because they're going to come with exclusive as well, aren't they? So, I think there's a whole host of things there that has a chance of going wrong for us. But, yes, it's a nice idea, but the flip side to it is when and where can we play stuff around with? Yeah.
There was another one in the gear section that was quite useful, which I thought was worth pulling out. It was to do with variant gear, and now I can't find it.
Yes. Essentially, someone wrote in and asked, didn't they, what variant gear stacks? Because variant gear gets put on a weapon, or I want to say a bangle. So you can have one on the one on the right. And their question essentially is, if I put one piece on the left, does that always stack with the piece on the right, or can they run separately? So can you please give us? And they said, yes, we are going to put big signs on there about which pieces actually...
here we go. Question 13.
Question 13. Which pieces actually stack with each other, so it's a clearly definable list, which would be great. Would actually be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely, because I've got a couple of the summoner artifacts, and I've been trying to work out which ones, whether they stack, especially because you can stick them on Anora, and they do actually work. I can definitely get one of them to work. I'm from my testing, I couldn't work out if both of them were working, so I think that was just a case of the numbers were in the wrong place and I couldn't see it clearly. But yeah, I think now they've done all this stuff about basic attack damage, this is the next logical step, saying these are the stats which stack nicely as well. So I think it's just quality of life features added into the game and really just generally useful for the community.
Yeah, you'll be able to really peak your damage there, won't you? And particularly with the overheal and overkill, you can see where you're hitting and what you're hitting for, can't you?
Yeah. And I think the only other one in here that was kind of talking about was this
the reset books are coming any moment. Oh no,
Not
they
reset.
didn't say that, did they?
No, they said
We'll
at
have them as and when
specific.
we like.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was question 14 about some shops and summons, ancient summon, non-lord pity, and this ties in very nicely to the fact that they have just announced a non-lord pity, and we'll just dive into the game and have a look at it. But what they said was it's coming in the next update. Keep an eye on the patch notes for the upcoming details. So let's just dive over to what they've said in game is coming.
You need to collect your stuff because your mind's not working. Okay.
Yeah, that requires me to play the game. Right, go away. Splash banners. Right, so here we go. So, what they have said is ancient summoning crystals. So they're now going to have 2 pity timers on ancient summon banners, and that's going to be that if you haven't summoned any legendary, a non-lord legendary from an ancient pool after 130, you'll have a rate up, and so you're guaranteed to get your next non-lord ancient within 150 summons.
In between the ancient summon and the invocation summons.
Yeah. So you have an opportunity to have these 2 pity timers running. Now, that still means that on a banner, you have the risk of getting the unit that you don't want because the wrong one of your procs, your pities will proc at the wrong time. So you could end up getting the non-lord unit that you don't want, but because the timer for that ticks over first, and that's kind of what happened to me.
So if I've got 2 legendaries pulled already, and I have my legendary pity about to proc for my lord pity, then on the banner I'm on, I will be guaranteed to pull the legendary hero, won't I, before the lord one? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, guaranteed to get a non-lord pity, but yeah, you're more likely to get the one with the higher rate, then so it'll probably be the unit you don't want, or it might be the one you do want, because if it's like a Valara banner, then that's really good news. You've got more chance of getting your Valara.
Yeah, you are going to have to think about your pity going forward on this, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're going to have to really put some plan ahead. Now, question for you. They've released this on the Orin banner, so it's not active yet, is it?
No. It kicks in on the 25th.
When it kicks in, does it take into account if I do 90 summons, or sorry, if I do 120 summons, 120 summons this week, for example, without a lord, when this kicks in, the next banner they run, am I at 120 or am I starting from 0?
The wording of the last sentence here suggests that the pity counter starts from 0 on the 26th, so after the patch.
Yeah. So why release it before the Orin banner? Why not wait until it's over, or wait until the next banner is due and then go, we're releasing this?
I think it's because the community have been so vocal about wanting it. However, all they've managed to do is piss everyone off because...
But they've jobbed everyone on for years now, haven't they? I mean...
Yeah.
There's no point springing into action a month early, is there? You might have left 2 weeks and said, before this banner comes out, it's a brilliant banner, and also we're throwing in your non-lord pity. But like you say, this sort of implies that your pity is going to start from 0 when it comes out. So why release it early? The only thing I can think of is if you're going to include your pity for this banner. So you might go, well, actually, I'm going to stop at 120 because I know my pity would count over. So there we go.
Yeah, it's not clear and this is just my speculation that it's not going to count, but it could easily be the other way. It could easily be that it is going to count, and you could be in a good/bad position depending on where you are in the pity tracker.
What's the pool 60 and then you're splitting the odds? Yeah, is that the plan?
No, I pulled absolutely everything I had for Oren and got Lycan and Haas. So I hope you had better luck than me.
Me too. Congratulations. Well done. Yeah. I've now got an A1 Lycan and an A3 Hearts. There we go.
So for me, it was A0 Lycan and an A1 Haas, which, I mean, A1 Haas, I mean, I'm a little bit gutted by because it's not who I wanted, but A1 Haas is pretty good at the end of the day. That community that
your Lord Pity to go on what are they classed as? A normal Lord?
Yeah.
Not the other Lord's Lord? I don't know.
Non-powerful Lord is...
Non-powerful Lord, is that it? Yeah. So to have my pity blown on that is always a bit gutting. But yeah, welcome to the club. I'm pleased for you. It's nice to see someone else suffer with me. I mean, misery does like company, so it's nice to have some...
That's why you join me every week. Right, so...
Your harbour needs collecting.
It does. Playing my game for me now.
You've
right.
got 2 to go as well. Oh, come on.
I'll do one now, 1 in the morning. It's perfect. So that was the normal pity, and I think from that the patch is coming. There was one thing that we haven't discussed in patch notes on this channel. If I can just find it on here. So there is a patch note.
Are we discussing the best bit of the patch notes?
You tell me what you think the best bit of the patch notes is, and I'll tell you whether I think it's worth it.
Actually, the best bit is not in the patch notes.
Oh, you're talking about the chest?
I'm talking the chest in chat. How good is that bit of life?
It is very, very good. Here we go.
This is getting a buff. This is getting a buff, isn't it? I mean, this is all good. This is free stuff, isn't it?
Well, yes, and the elf pass is getting.
You pay the same money and you get a new level.
No.
Yes.
So you get a standard edition,
which goes down from $19.99 to $14.99 because it's $19.99 at the moment.
Right, and they're selling an additional level for another $9.
But you can buy both for $19.99. So for the same money as you spend now, you would get the Sacred and the Supreme.
Right. Okay. Yep, that makes sense.
And then apparently the normal free level is getting updated.
Yeah.
Now what that means, I don't know. I don't know whether that's a buff or a nerf. It just says updated.
Updated. Probably means it's going to have more spider gems in it. Because that seems to be the way they solve everything these days. Have more spider gems. We've discussed all of those. W Gold event optimization. So yeah, as Mystical said, there is now a ticker in chat which lets you see where there are chests that haven't yet been claimed. I'm out of keys, so I can't. No, don't have enough.
Nothing there. There it is there. So when you click that, you get taken to the next chest. And then you'd get taken to the one above it as well, and so on and so forth. It's absolutely next one above it, next one. Such a good little quality of life change that is.
Massive thing. If I had more keys, it would be much more useful to me, but I'm out of keys at the moment. And the other is they're changing it so that if you do open a Radiant chest, you are guaranteed to get W Gold from it. Chest owner can claim an extra.
Well, you don't know that, do you?
Oh no!
And they're changing the top reward, aren't they? But you are guaranteed the top reward. So at the moment it's 800 gold. Yeah. But I think how do they word it? They're updating that as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you're going to get an extra one. So you get one when you first buy it. But they're saying once it's all used, you're going to get one afterwards as well. So you'll get 2 rewards out of 1 chest, and the second one is guaranteed to be the top reward,
Yeah.
whatever the reward will be.
So everything
so
else
essentially everything in it is good, isn't it? I mean, there's loads of good stuff. The equipment plan, brilliant, isn't it? That's really nice.
Yeah, the equipment plan is so useful. I think the only thing that I would like as a absolute feature out of this is if I was going through these plans and I was looking at this unit, I said, oh, I'd just like to put that gear on that hero without equipping everyone else because I've got them set up for something else. But I know I've got a really good set. And I guess you could say, yeah, but that's what gear plans are for. It's like, yeah, but not everything is a gear plan, and there's up to 250 potential gear plans that you can have stored in here, but you might not necessarily want to have everyone equipped at the same time. So, for example, I've got some teams here with only 5 units in because they're arena teams, and I only need 5 units in those. But I think, yeah, for me, if I could just have that equipped to hero
you'd be completely sold on it. Yeah,
I'd be completely sold. I still love it. I use it all the time. I use it for messing around on Spellbane and Bulwark. One thing you need to be aware of following the patch update is that on Matrix, your gear, so your awakening and gear changes will not apply until you click the update. So in the Matrix, for example, it will look on here like everything is updated, but it won't actually apply until you hit the update gear button or you come into the adjust team and hit save. So if you get like an awakening or new gear or you roll really well, then it will update, but otherwise it's whatever you say has saved previously, and you can't see it, but you can tell from the BP. But if you got Orin, you're laughing because you're probably going to be getting 250k next week because he's insanely powerful. I did try and run Lycan, but he just was not working in my team. I'm told he's great, but a 30-second cooldown on something which has a 12-second damage window is not working for me at the moment.
Yeah, I was saving out until I got Orin to do my Matrix teams. As I got King Hearts, then
yeah, I can see why you're not like infused. Yeah,
the update won't be as great as I was hoping. Oh well.
The Matrix team I run on physical is pretty solid. I'm getting just under the 100k now on this team, and my awakenings are very low on most of the units. My big hitter is Akira, who's A3, and Mina, who's A2. They're the ones who are like chunking up everyone else. So yeah.
No Adrian in there?
No, you don't need to run Adrian. You run Valderon as a tank, and you basically, as soon as you see the little star appear on the ground for the tentacle to appear, you activate his ultimate, and then he can't receive any negative. He can't basically die for 10 seconds after it happens, and that generally gets him through the big spike and then the subsequent ticks if you're covering him with Earlis. So yeah, it's insanely useful, insanely powerful. And yeah, you basically just put him in full tank gear. So look, my Valderon is in full tank gear, and he just doesn't die, even in the last 2 minutes.
Okay.
In the same way that you run Sun Wukong in tank gear in the Bulwark form, you just doing
Yeah,
the
so
same
you've got
idea.
him in Wings of Grace then, have you? I think I've got mine in Morale, but yeah.
Yeah, I did have him in morale. I was working with Behemoth, he's one of our guildmates, to tighten up my bulwark, and together we've put on about 20k on where I was on the bulwark form. So it makes a hell of a difference just having the right units and getting as many Wings of Grace buffs out as you can to all of your DPS units.
Might have to have a look through your team one day. There we go.
Yeah,
Because mine is terrible.
but I mean, I'm running the Durza comp, but the Durza is just so powerful. He just means that your team just doesn't die because his damage reductions just go up and up as their health gets lower and lower. So they basically just are unkillable if they're in his range.
Oh, I think we found a snag for my team.
But I mean, there are lots of other teams. I mean, Adrian teams are really, really solid. I've seen some Starpiercer teams doing the rounds now, who are pretty powerful as well. So there's plenty of different combinations of units that are able to get down. And now that the points go up as the damage scale, as your stacks get higher, then it's much easier to get a higher score than it was when it first came out.
Well, I was only doing about 100k total, and I got a straight up 10% damage buff.
Yeah.
So I think it starts where it normally started and just ramps up. They haven't lowered the bottom end, so to speak, to make on average the same. It's just a straight up improvement on your score.
Yeah, it is an absolute. I was getting overall. I got about 22k increase. It was like 16k on one and 6 on the other. But it was overall it was about a 10% increase. So
so there we go.
Really,
that's
solid.
nice for everyone.
So yeah, Siege of Tya event I think is kind of the next thing to talk about. So Siege of Tya, here we are. It happened.
Mostly brilliant.
Mostly brilliant.
Mostly brilliant.
There was just a bit of breakdown in communication on what people were expecting and what was expected of people on the test server in terms of how they were expected to guide the community on the event arrival. But overall, it happened. But I think what we all have to remember is there's a majority. Oh, I'm getting a cutscene again without the sound.
Yeah, but you haven't got it without that bloody bar either, so that's a bonus.
Yeah.
Even when the event ended, that bar was still going across my window. Why?
I know. People were still donating, I think, until they actually stopped it. But yeah, anyway, so it happened. Ezerith got defeated. But I'm suspicious. I am massively suspicious. I've yet to see that with sound. I need to find someone who found it with sound because I had my in-game sounds off when it was playing. But during the event, when Ezerith was going, this is the ticker. It's sped up. This is a minute's worth of footage, and I basically compressed it. This ticker is going up suspiciously consistently, considering that there is the entire community attacking the boss. Not everyone's getting 4,000 points. Not everyone's getting consistent damage. But this was pretty much going up at a very, very consistent rate.
I know what this is, actually. I think I know what this is.
Yeah?
Yeah, this was me. Yeah.
No, I mean, but it was just...
I wouldn't be far off. I mean, I saved all my morale, and I saved all of the promo codes until the end.
Yeah.
And then it was horrible, but I must have spent, I don't know, maybe 2 hours last night just on one account here, just doing these fights, picking people and just doing it. But I had thousands of morale going through. I've got loads of points, so I can go shopping tomorrow. But there was no way this event was going to fail. That was already a given.
Well, no, I mean,
not as a community take part in it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we didn't clear as many tiles as they were expecting us to. We only got 323. They're expecting us to get up to 350.
That's all the tiles, but we only missed the cost of 1 XP and 1 gold, aren't we?
Yeah,
that's what
it's the XP and gold. And I imagine that if you've got any tokens left over, they'll be converted to gold anyway at a really shoddy rate, but they'll be converted, so you won't lose out.
I've got to go shopping later. How long have I got? We've got a day left, so by the time this goes live, you'll be putting this out in what, 12 hours, something like that.
Something like that. So tomorrow morning this will be going out. And
so what's worth shopping for? You can get everything, can't you? Is that right? How many points did you have?
I had over 60,000 points.
Is that it?
I was spending as I was going. I didn't hold off.
Right.
So it's like as soon as the ancients
I've got about
140,
180,000, something like that.
Well, I think everyone.
I haven't spent anything. Yeah, I haven't spent anything.
Well, you've still got another chance of getting 10 ancients to get your chance of getting your Orin then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. King Hearts A4. Here we come.
So anyway, but yeah, there's the ancients, there's the rares, the diamonds, obviously.
Skill crystals, will you get them or not?
Well, I would, but I've got 35, so I didn't really feel the need to spend 9 grand on getting something which I'm dropping out of Matrix, like the Malric runes out of anything. Exclusive.
They're not like they used to be, are they?
No.
Skill crystals used to be the world's hardest thing to come across, and when the game originally came, you were, well, which heroes do I put in? This is why basic attack you needed to know, didn't you? If their basic attack doesn't affect anything else, if I've got their basic attack unbooked, I'm happy with that quite often.
The ancients for these 2 ancients are really, really good because you get the opportunity for quad stat gear. So I got a.
You get the chance of it. What do you mean?
Well, so you get to pick from one of 4 pieces of gear. So you can have a ancient the warrior weapon, which with attack bonus, crit damage, crit chance, and attack speed, and the armor with attack bonus, crit damage, crit rate, and attack speed. I don't know anyone who has chosen the Immortal Warrior ones, but I imagine the substats are suitably good for defender units. So it'd be like HP, percentage HP, def bonus, def, and something else, probably attack speed or rage regen.
Okay. Happy days. That's nice. On
the weapons, so you've got a chance of Soulbound Arcana and Infernal Roar. The substats on the Ancients, just the Ancients, were crit damage, crit rate, attack speed, and rage regen.
Okay.
And you had the choice of a bangle or for either of those, so you could choose one of the 2.
Okay, that's nice.
And those ones are just random, so that is literally the same as running Gear Raid 1 or Gear Raid 3, and you just get
that bad, eh?
Yeah. Some people have got, they are. Some people got these to roll really, really well. Mine was a pretty average roll. But I mean, the substats are glorious. So whenever I get an ancient hammer, I'm going to be throwing it at that.
Okay,
But these were trash. These were both trash. So if you're short on coins, don't buy them. Variant gem, buy it. Siege of Tya.
How did you do? Or have you left it for this for the podcast to open?
No, as soon as I selected it went through. I got Valise A2 on mine, so that was really nice.
That's nice.
Psychic
gems, yeah, okay.
Augmentation gems, couldn't bother to get those. Psychic powers, I might buy them because, unlike most people in the community, I use mine. I've only got 65, but
yeah, you use yours on your fodder, don't you? Leveling it up for Corridor of Glory events. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So I use mine.
And then
so
you've got the Mithril, though, have you?
Well, no, Mithril is really easy to get, especially if you're doing AMR like 23 plus, because it just ramps up so quickly that
and there's so few things that are worthwhile having.
Yeah, it's just not worth having it. Refining
Do you
crystals,
run AMR?
not outside or not very often.
I sort of do my daily stuff in it when it comes round, but I don't put extra into it. I save my extra for when I'm back onto the gear raids, and I put my extra stamina into those, because there's just the void cores are less, aren't they? The amount of void cores you get, or have they upped those now? I don't know.
No,
there just doesn't seem to be much in there.
I mean, Prospector did a video on this very topic recently, and it is basically the fact that you're unless you're running the top one, which is like AMR 30, then your return on investment in terms of time and energy is really poor. So you're better off spending it on gear rate if you're after gold, or for example. And the disappointment rate of forging with Titan and Wisdom Meteorite is just horrible. I mean, I honestly, the select exclusive rate up events on Titan and Wisdom, I just call them disappointment events now, because the chance of getting what I want from them is so...
I don't bother with them, to be honest.
Yeah, they're not worth doing. So if they were 20x rate up, then they might be more... It might work better, but I just find them really
The other thing is
annoying.
they could have 10x, couldn't they? But they could do it the same as the banners and have it increase every time I don't get a selected, because they've got that mechanism in the game, haven't they, for the banners? Then bring it over, and at least that way I might want to make loads of exclusives. You know, I mean, what are the chances on the Titans of getting an exclusive? It's
4%. 4%. And there are so many exclusives now, and even with a 10x up, it's just
But
not doing it.
if I don't get one on the exclusive, I should have a 2 times on that 10x, shouldn't I? And then a 2 times, then a 2 times, and then on the 4th or 5th exclusive, I'd at least then get my chosen banner one. So there would be a point to it. But at the moment, I mean, I tried it on the first event. I got no joy. I gave it a half-assed attempt on the second one. I think I might have got it eventually, but it seemed to burn through a lot. So I was like, I can't be bothered with this.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is just inherently frustrating for that. Now that's interesting. Do you think that still applies outside of the game? No, it doesn't even apply outside the event. It's a shame. That'd be so funny if it did.
So 24 hours left to do your shopping. Make sure you get that in. Make sure you go over the map and you've got all the little treasure icons that are about on there. But on the whole, I thought absolutely fantastic event.
Yeah, I think it was a good event. I mean, the community got involved. It was a little bit directionless, but it worked. I mean, in the Chinese server, when they ran it, they had to extend the event by a couple of days in order to get it to complete successfully. Now, how much of that is a result of dodgy tickers which just went up by themselves on the final boss, we'll never know. But yeah, it went down. We got the rewards, and yeah, overall it was a good event. It was a decent enough challenge. There was people of all abilities could get involved, and
yeah, I thought fantastic. Nice to see them trying new stuff, and this was new. It allows you to do cross server cross-server play, which brings up a whole host of other possibilities. We got co-op play as well, and also within the co-op play, you had that memoranda, didn't you?
Yeah, the Memoria. The only thing that didn't work well on the
it.
Memoria was the fact that they didn't gear save. So you basically had to know that the person you was going to use had left their gear on their units, because otherwise you'd pull someone in and they do no damage. And it was like,
Well, I just picked G Star because we all know his account is busted, so I picked his. There we go, brilliant.
You should have been
I can sit
picking
back and do
my
nothing. I don't need to take people now. I don't need to do anything.
I discovered a nightmare team. It was actually, I have to give thanks to Chaddy here, because it was Chaddy's video that said these are the meta comps, and it was brilliant. It was Rygar, Sun Wukong, Kagiri, Astriel, and Moradin, and it just slapped. It was hitting as hard, if not harder, than some of the Esotericist team. And I ran it with an encounter with two Esotericist teams, and between us we got like 6 billion, because everyone was scoring over 2 million each, or 2 billion.
Yeah, I picked up your team to help me out. I saw yours there, so I thought I'll pick that, and then never again. No. Because you had so many ground units, there wasn't anywhere to put mine. I was like, oh no, because yours go down first, don't I? I can't put mine anywhere. Nowhere to put them. Oh no, it's all gone wrong for me.
But I mean, it was a really efficient team. It worked really, really well. But no, I think it's really good. The fact that the Forerunners were able to play with global is really good, because we are a shrinking server, and the devs don't seem to have any inclination of solving this problem anytime soon, other than handing out level 1 accounts, which nobody wants. But yeah, it was a good event. I overall enjoyed it.
The only downside to it was that ticket going across, wasn't it?
Oh my word, that bloody
ticket. Which just
ticket.
frustrated everyone. Yeah. I can now hear the voices in my head again. Now that's gone, so that's a bonus.
So obviously I went for Akira on the exclusive pick. Who did you go for on your picker?
Likewise. Yeah. Well, on my global I went for her. On my global I went for Captain Reeves.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I didn't have him, and I do want to complete my Pokédex. So there is a requirement. Don't have him, and I don't know when I'll be able to get him again. But I had to plumb for him. But then on my Forerunner, where we've got everyone, I plumbed for her as well. Now on this, 3 dev insights ago, they did say they were going to run this event, didn't they, or something similar to this? Either a rerun or a limited, or a pick your own every 1 to 2 months. So look out for 2 months' time. Set your calendar.
Well, 2 months' time would be the anniversary.
Yeah, so I could see them doing one in 2 months' time.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, which would be good.
Yeah.
Because you need to release this sort of event more often than you are releasing limited heroes.
Yes. Yeah. Right. These 2 heroes. What do you think of them? And I picked up Janus, and I've not had a chance to play with her yet, but just reading through her kit, I think she's got a lot of potential to cause to do really, really well in Gear Dungeon 3. So you have her like up on one lane, applying fire and getting her phoenixes doing things, and then you trigger the ultimate, and someone like Nazar in the bottom lane are putting out fire with his ultimate, and then she triggers her ultimate, and then you dispel all the shields, and you just take everyone down really, really quickly.
Yeah, I dare say she's going to be. I think she's good, and we haven't seen the best of her yet. I had some stuff on in real life, so I didn't really play around with them on the test server that much. But I did like the concept of her, to be honest, but I didn't get a lot of time to really play around with her. I wouldn't be offended if I got her.
I got
the
her
other one
on
appears at
Divines.
face value to be better, but I don't. They're pushing burning comps now. Whether you need Valletta Vane to get the best out of her, I don't know. Whether Valletta is going to be the Vaughn of Burns, to get all your
I
burn
think
comps working. I don't know.
You can do a lot of fun stuff with an eye if you don't have Violetta. Violetta obviously like ramps it up another level.
Yeah.
But an eye works pretty efficiently because I was running a infernal comp with an eye and a couple of other units during the event, and whichever boss required debuffs on him. I think it was the Lord Phineas one. And that worked quite effectively.
Who's not a lord?
Not a lord, but he was the only lord who wasn't a lord who was in the event. It's probably because they haven't released the other infernal lord who was in the event yet. So
here's a question for you then. What is the collective noun for phoenixes then? Is that like a rebirth of phoenixes? Is that what they are? It's a collective noun? I don't know what they are, but there you go. I'm going to plumb for a rebirth unless anyone knows any better.
I'm searching as we speak.
You're searching it now. Collective noun for phoenixes. So you get what a murder of crows, don't you? An ambush of tiger. Was it a parliament of owls? Isn't it that sort of thing?
Oh, so
an army of frogs.
Someone suggested a conflagration.
A conflagration of phoenixes. Oh wow! There you go.
There you go.
Well, that's quite nice. So that's a suggestion. Is then I presume? Well, they're not real, are they? So I guess there isn't an actual real one for them. But yeah,
no.
I might go for a rebirth then. But I like conflagration. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to seeing her play around in Gear Dungeon 3 because I really definitely think she's got potential in there for making a big difference for getting rid of those big shields that are so annoying. And Janus, I don't know. I've obviously missed something about his kit. So what's he do? So
he's got whole range, complete battlefield visibility or placement of his ultimate. So what essentially he does is his ultimate comes round and you can then select whether you want to do physical damage or magical damage. I think he starts off on magical. There you go. So he starts off on magical, and then you've got a little switch icon on him, so you can press it on his ultimate and it will switch to physical, and then press it again, it will come back to magical. That's it. You get that tarot card up, and then you can swap it over as to what you want to do with him, and then you can place it anywhere on the battlefield as well. So he either gets a big cyclone come down if he's doing magical damage, or you get the meteors come down if he's doing physical damage. Well, that's not strictly true. You get the meteors come down and they do physical damage. He would still be doing magical damage until they end. When they end, he would then swap over and do physical damage. But you can place that anywhere on the battlefield.
That's huge. Because any stage where you're worried about something getting out behind you, you can just have this. Yeah. Well,
don't get many mages doing Gear 3.
There's not very much in the way of ground square placements, so
but you can place him on the left hand side.
Anywhere.
You can place him on the left hand side. So you place him on the left hand side. He's doing damage he does AoE damage to the units on the left hand side.
Yeah.
His ultimate comes round, and you can place his ultimate anywhere on the map. So you can go.
Even if there's not a ground tile for him to place it on, so he can place it
anywhere on the.
Oh, that's huge. That's absolutely.
Well, I say anywhere on the map, almost anywhere on the map. So I have played around with it, and on Gear 3, you can place it in that top right hand corner. You can't place a unit there, but you can place his bombs going down on there. So you can hit that. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So more versatility there. I mean, I think he's obviously not designed for arena because he's 20 costs, so he's very expensive.
Whether you could get some use out of him in Gear Dungeon as well, swapping over his damage type.
Yeah, Gear Dungeon 2 would be really useful to use him in because then you could, as the different clones come out, so at the moment a lot of people use like Hex in the middle and have him dealing with the boss as it's coming down. Now, obviously, you could use his attack to control the boss with the correct damage type to keep it under control. So that's absolutely huge. And the fact it kind of stuns as well on.
Yeah. So the other thing is his ultimates that are manual and placed, so you can decide when they go off and where they go off.
Yeah.
It does actually give him a strong CC.
That's
also,
really good.
if you tied him in with things like maybe, I haven't played around, but maybe Lynx, Akira, that sort of stuff, because he's putting out with the Frozen Glaze, putting out those Winter's Bites again as well. I think you'll get them with them, aren't you?
Yeah,
so they both
getting Winter's
that
Bites
as well.
there.
So yeah, that's absolutely a possibility for you.
Brilliant. So he looks to be a pretty interesting unit. I think there's some people who are a little bit uncertain around Janus at the moment, and it might be that as Mystical's already mentioned, that we're missing something. We don't quite yet have we know there is a new Lord of the Infernals coming. We don't know when, and it could just be that when this new Lord comes in, she's just going to be like on top of it and just like dominating it. And I've lost you. Oh, stupid video. It's because I went in Chrome. So the last 10 minutes I've been talking and there's just been a black box on screen. Poor Mystical.
My life been replaced by a black box. Now, tell me they are not from Marvel.
You think they're like Scarlet Witch type people?
Well, do you think? I mean, his name is actually Gambit. Yeah, Fate's Gambit.
Fate's Gambit.
Yeah, and tell me she's not Dark Phoenix. She's not Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, she is a Phoenix. Ashen Flame. Yeah, I can see that. And it is kind of throwback to the original Jean Grey costume. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, I don't mind. They both look good, and I think they both. He is more naturally, I think, looks like he's got a place in the game. But she, I think, also will have as well. I don't think she's a bad pool. I just think on the face of it, he comes across as possibly the stronger of the two pools. Yeah, but I haven't done mine yet. Hopefully, put them out and have a good look at them later. So.
I'm always keen on a mage which has got this attack range, because I find it's just such a versatile attacks range. The marksman attack range, because it can be quite limiting with the standard mage attack range, that you suddenly find that one place you want to hit a unit is right in the corners that aren't available.
Yeah.
So not an issue for Solaris, because obviously he can place his tarot cards anywhere, but for her, the fact she's got this extra thing, she's got more space to put her Phoenix eggs down. More eggs, more better for her. So finding the right place for her on the map so she can get the eggs out in time for her to get to an ultimate, dispel shields on enemies, and just let hell rain down upon them. So I think this is two really good heroes. Amazing that they're on the same banner. And
yeah, I mean, your worst case scenario on that banner is you get a really good hero.
Yeah,
I mean, there's not a downside. You might think the other one is slightly better, but I mean, I think she's absolutely fantastic. But Gear Dungeon 3, I think you're laughing with her. I mean, have you got Gretchen, or I mean, Lyra's also good in there as well, isn't she? Is she free? Is she?
Lyra, she's on the blues. Yeah.
Was she free at some point? Was she guaranteed hero? Or
no, she was the first pick your own hero at Christmas a couple of years ago.
That was where it was from, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. So she was on the pick your own unit on the banner. So you made your own banner.
It was her plus someone else. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it was a good event, a good summoning event, and it just gave more flexibility to the community so they could help fill out their rosters, closing some of those grayed out boxes. My biggest worry about this new feature is the fact I'm going to at some point get Giselle.
Oh, I do hope I'm there. I got Sergei as well, though. I mean, that was a plus.
Oh, nice.
So although my lord was King Hearts, which is not fantastic to blow your Lord Pity on, at least I picked up Sergei on route, so it could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, Sergei is just dominating single target arena now, so he's an absolute gem to have.
I've got tomorrow to build him up and put him in my arena team before I get kicked out of my bracket.
Yeah, I haven't looked today. I imagine I've plummeted pretty hard. So, oh well. Sergei is he's just brutal in single target arena. But yeah, I think that I mean overall, Orin's arrival has been handled pretty well. We know that there's more stuff coming. They were talking about the fact that the extension to the Void Rift was coming after the after this event, after the Siege of Tya. So I expect that will be trickling out in the next couple of weeks. We've got a new Immortal Codex starting next week. As correctly called by Mystical, it's going to be in time for the patch to arrive on Global. So patch is going to arrive. You're going to be able to get straight into this new boss. And yeah, more good stuff.
Demonic Crusade you've got coming up as well.
Yeah. Oh golly, I've not even looked at that since I started doing it. I recorded 10 stages of it and I haven't gone back to it because I just got so wrapped up in the Siege of Tya and trying to do the faction trials. So faction trials, I've got just Star Piercers 18 left. But yeah, things to watch out for on this. It's not too bad. It's pretty heavy on damage, but I was able to do it with 2 decent tanks. I had you could probably get away with a Brock here, but he just needs to be like in absolute best gear. And I had Garn over here. I have had Kagrim there and Garn there.
Can I use my King Hearts that I got then? Can I?
Yeah, you could probably use King Hearts. You just need a decent regen so you can keep his shields up. You might actually be able to get away with him at the top. So he's being healed by Yerlis, and she can keep him topped up with her shields as well, because obviously he benefits from getting shields. So it might be possible. I have him as a backup in case when one of the units down here inevitably dies during that stage, that I can put King Haas there, and then I could put a ranged fighter behind so that they can keep doing damage there and controlling. But yeah, it's not too bad. On 18, 16 and 17, at Mina is an absolute diamond. If you can make it so that Mina can get on this tile and face up under a Star Piercer team, she can just control the entire map. And then you just need someone to do pushbacks occasionally so that anything that explodes, because one of these guys explodes and they leave a fire pit on the ground. And if you make sure that you can make sure that doesn't splash onto her tile, you're shining. But if you've got Mina on this tile, it just makes it so easy to dominate. And that's true for 16 and 17.
I've not even looked at it. So 9, when does it actually start getting difficult then? Is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 easily done then, is it?
So 9 and 10, 10 starts to like introduce a new layout. 11 isn't too bad. 12 is like the hardest version of this map. 13, it's a new map, and they start coming in different ways. And you get more flying units coming in. It doesn't introduce flying units in this stage. I know it does introduce flying units. And then it just gets harder. 15 is a boss stage who appears. You want to kill the boss as soon as possible because I couldn't block him when I played it because he stunned my units and got past. Now in 18 he doesn't seem to do that. So, but he just hit really, really hard. So it was a case of making sure you had enough healers. I had Draylin in the middle, and then I had Yerlis and Nerissa on the tile behind here, and that was just about enough to keep everyone alive there. And then, yeah, then it's just a case of cycling units to deal with the fact that someone's going to explode at some point, and hopefully you're it not being your Valara, because she's pretty useful in this. There are other strategies. There's plenty of lineups out there that are doing it. Someone has actually used a Lady Mina, and I say Lady Mina is just so good in these maps. If you can get her on a if you can get her on a platform tile, she's just able to lock down the map so that the boss can't do much.
Nice. Should be all right then.
Yeah. Any final thoughts? Any reminders? Any tower reminders for people?
I think we're all right. Are we gear dungeons? Where are we? Last week to go in gear dungeons, I think, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah,
So get your gear dungeons done. We've got 8 days left, something like that.
Yeah, gear dungeons have got 8 days left. 7 days, 20 hours. So yeah, it'll be about 6 days by the time this goes live.
So yeah, jump in and get those done. Do not let your rewards go to Moonton. They've got enough stuff. Grab them yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, War of Fates I don't do anything on. How's War of Fates panned out? Did everyone else jump to the other side as soon as they felt theirs was losing or something?
So yeah, War of Fates was a bit of an interesting one this time around because you got to choose which team you wanted to go in. So if you wanted to kind of guarantee to get the victory rewards because you were in the game and you were awake, then there've been a lot of messages going around, but choose the Infernals because that's where all the whales are going. But it was kind of a double-edged sword because as a result, all the rankings for that are absolutely massive, at least on Forerunner. I imagine they're even higher on Global.
Global will be even worse, yeah.
But that also means that you had to compete harder to get in the top 100, and if you were particularly keen on getting your hands on the skin for Moradin, which they did seem to leave the life preserver off, then yeah, you had better chance of getting it if you were on the losing side.
I suppose so, the losing side. So what is the top 100 rewards, just out of interest? If I go to the bottom, what are the bottom rewards like of the top 100 then?
You 6 blues.
Well, you still get the skin. You still get the skin, don't you, in the top 100 anywhere in it? Okay. It's not like a top 10 reward or anything like that. Okay.
No.
So yeah, if you're a skin type orientated person, then that's a go for you then, isn't it? Talking of skins, did you pick up the Orim one, did you?
Well, I didn't get Orim, so no.
Okay. But I didn't know if you picked up the skin because you say they're quite good value for, what was it, 7 Ancients, wasn't it?
Yeah, Orim, it's 7 Ancients, but it's still 4,000 W gold, which is a lot of money. I mean, it looks seriously cool. It's like they've taken some of the other ones, they've added a bit more translucency because you can see his arm through his chest there. So they've taken the galaxy ones and they've added like a transparency to it to make him more ethereal than he was already.
Good skin.
I think it's a good skin. if you're a skin collector and you don't mind spending 4,000 W gold on a skin and a handful of ancients, go for it. But on this occasion, it's not for me. If anyone wants to gift it to me,
you won't say no, yeah?
I won't say no. But
can you gift the skin like that? Hasn't it got to be in the shop? Is it in the shop as well? Oh, it is there. Yeah. So it's time limited offer. So you should be able to buy it and gift it then, shouldn't you?
No, yeah. It's not going to do it.
Go to the skin thing. Where is the skin shop?
I can't do it from the emulator. It's just not working.
No, go to gift center. Can you then gift it out? Can you or not? I don't know.
I guess if you had received it would come in here.
Okay.
Anyway, if you had again, it's like the Ardia one and the Eunomia one are also available if you want those, but they're really expensive.
I like the Eunomia one. She goes from quite light, doesn't she, to quite dark. And that skin straight away. It's quite a drastic change.
Yeah, it's very drastic. She looks more like Morrigan than the Morrigan in the bikini.
Than Morrigan does.
Yeah, it's a very odd one. Anyway, I think that's it for. I think you can send this gift to a friend. So if you click on there, it's still saying time limited offer. So maybe you can only gift them once they're out of the offer.
So I can't send it to you then, no? Oh, I'm sorry.
You actually need to be friends with you on the server. So you can't even just like suck someone's details in.
Oh, that's a blow, isn't it? I think they're missing a trick there, to be honest.
Yeah. Cool. So
there we go.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of What's Going On. I'm Arcturus. That's Mystical, and we will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.
Cheers.